I was in Colorado. I was working with Terence Crawford. Definitely a hell of an experience. You get that type of knowledge, that type of IQ. I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. And that's how I feel about myself. Boy, come on. Terrence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen and
straight boom, straight shot. Like right here, boom, here you go. But you gotta make sure you step. Bam. That's when the motherfucker trying to run out of it. When the motherfucker trying to run, pop, there you go.
even if I don't feel the same way that he's feeling at the moment, it don't matter. I still want to hear him out and try to understand what he's saying.
It's here, Mom. Only thing he can throw is a hook because you out the way of the right hand.
You like a sponge. He soak up everything that he need to soak up, put it into his arsenal, and then you make the best out of everything that you learn from everybody.
You don't want to feel like a know-it-all. And the people that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
He's a work of arts. Our sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's gonna be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has. And given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to everybody in the division, and be the last man standing given the opportunity.
Cool.
You cannot mess around and go into this fight with Tio and your hands is hurt, man. Shit, that's not gonna be a damn excuse. Hell no. This is a dude, man, Teofimo Lopez, bro. He been going at us. Yeah.
Fighters should look at Shakur. He's always in camp. He's never out of shape. You'll never see him out drunk. You'll never see him out doing stupid things. And because the money is secondary. Legacy is principle.
In the final weeks before the January 31st super fight, Shakur Stevenson enters the definitive phase of his camp to defeat Teofimo Lopez and become a 4-division champion. Opening the analytical debate from a Hall of Fame vantage point, Jack Mosley grounded his prediction for the Shakur Stevenson fight. Speaking in an interview, he stated he picked Stevenson to win, explaining that the fighter reminded him of a young Shane Mosley with his exceptional boxing skill. Mosley defined his famous power boxer style as a combination of pure punching power and technical boxing ability. He concluded by framing his prediction around this philosophy, believing Stevenson's similar blend of skill and attack would be decisive.
The Shakur Teofimo fight.
I love it. I just love the fight, but I don't know who's gonna win.
Teofimo Lopez.
Who's gonna fight?
Shakur Stevenson.
I'm going with Stevenson.
Why is that, Jack?
Because he's a hell of a boxer. He's bad. He reminds me of Shane. I met him when he was 6 or 7 years old. I met him. I said, man, that dude reminds me of Shane. Here he is, boxing around like Shane. But Shane's an attacker, though. He attacks, too.
Right. And he's a southpaw.
Yeah. My style of boxing is power boxing. Get him out of there. If they can take the power, then you just outbox them. That's it.
Is it essentially the Jack Mosley power? Is it a power? Is it basically boxer puncher style?
I coined that phrase, power boxer. Yep. Everybody used to say, oh, he's a puncher, he's a boxer. I said, shit, he's a power boxer. Combine the both. That's what I did.
As the analytical conversation pivoted to weigh the formidable attributes of the other side, Shane Mosley respectfully acknowledged Jack's pick for Stevenson, but meticulously pointed out the proven physical strengths of Teofimo Lopez. He noted his aggressive, come-forward style and size. He weighed the matchup aloud, considering Lopez's advantages, while conceding that Stevenson might hold edges in speed, reach, and boxing IQ. Jack Mosley countered this by focusing on a key technical factor, footwork. He argued that Lopez was just as fast, if not faster, and emphasized that his superior foot movement would be the decisive element, allowing him to control positioning and set up his punches effectively. To support his point, Jack highlighted a telling visual detail, contrasting Lopez's often bruised face with Stevenson's clean one as proof of his defensive prowess and ability to avoid being hit.
Is Lopez, though, the more athletic fighter? Even though you favor Stevenson, he's got those quick twitches.
Yeah, I like Teofimo Lopez. So
yeah, he likes to come and fight.
I like that he's moving around. So he's a little bit bigger, but I don't know. I mean, I think Fimo might be a little bit more, Shakur might be a little bit more, quicker and a little taller, a little rangier, a little bit more smarter, maybe.
But he's just as fast, if not faster. And he got good foot movement and feet. Good foot movement wins fights. You got good movements to get you in place to throw punches.
But Teofimo has good football movement too.
Yeah,
He be all over the place. He like moving.
He's not gonna beat Stevenson.
You not beat Stevenson?
No, his eyes are too good.
Too good?
His eyes,
His face ain't bruised up.
So you heard Shakur. Pop say you got him.
Yeah. So he's not bruised all up like Teofimo Lopez, bruised up, getting knots and stuff all upside his face. So that means he's getting hit a lot.
Building on the technical breakdown, Timothy Bradley shifted the tone to one of urgent warning. He stressed that Shakur Stevenson could not afford to enter this fight with any excuses, like injured hands, especially against an opponent like Teofimo Lopez. Bradley emphasized that this was a personal grudge match, referencing Lopez's past racist comments and stating this was Stevenson's chance to silence him for good. He made it clear that while everyone was supporting Stevenson, the task would be far from easy, as Lopez was coming to back up every word he'd ever said. Bradley concluded with a forceful demand for Stevenson to bring his absolute best, warning that anything less than complete readiness would lead to a disastrous outcome.
You can't mess around and go into this fight with Teo. You can't. You cannot mess around and go into this fight with Teo and your hands is hurt, man. Shit, that's not gonna be a damn excuse. Hell no. This is a dude, man, Teofimo Lopez, bro. He been going at us. Yeah. All this racist stuff, bruh. This your chance to shut his ass up, bruh. Yeah. That's what it is. It's your chance. So everybody riding with you, man. Shit, but this ain't gonna be no easy task. This dude here coming to bag up every single word he said. Every word he said. And you get in there and you play, and your hands ain't right, bruh. And you ain't in there being a little bit of with a little bit of Shakur, but you gonna have to bring everything out against this dude, Teofimo Lopez, cause he coming for your ass in every single way.
With the stage set for Shakur's legacy, the focus moved to his final weeks of preparation. His trainer, Rel, gave a confident update 1 month before the fight, reporting that camp was on a perfect schedule and Stevenson was sharp in his sparring. Rel explained his core training philosophy, that he doesn't prepare fighters to simply survive 12 rounds, as he believes that puts too much strain on them. Instead, he said their hard work now is designed to make the actual fight feel easy. He ended with a definitive promise that on fight night, Stevenson would prove he is a serious problem for anyone, regardless of the weight class.
We about a month away from fight day. Everything going according to plan. Core look great, man, great. He getting the rounds in. Everything going according to schedule. We coming for the victory. You know, me as a trainer, I don't train to go the distance. I think that's wear and tear on the body. You put all the work in camp to make the fight night as easy as possible, and that's what he gonna do. We training camp, the tough times are here to make the fight easy, and come January 31st, he coming to show y'all that he's the first to be reckoned with at any weight class here.
Furthermore, Dalton Smith offered a more measured, first-hand perspective. Speaking from his own experience, Smith noted he had known and sparred with Shakur Stevenson since their amateur days in Colorado. He acknowledged both fighters as great, calling the matchup a genuine 50-50 contest, but ultimately stated he would have to favor Stevenson. When asked about the sparring sessions, Smith described them as good, praising Shakur as an unbelievable fighter whose amateur and professional achievements spoke for themselves. He concluded on a personal note, recalling a friendly catch-up after Stevenson's last fight, which reinforced his view of him as a good guy and cemented his prediction in his favor.
Yeah, I think he's a great fight. Obviously, I've known Shakur from the amateur days. You know, I've sparred him over the years in Colorado when, you know, I was over there on training camps and stuff. So, you know, Shakur's a great fighter, so is Teo. You know, and I really think it is a 50-50 fight, but I think I'd have to favor Shakur in that one.
Insight, how is it sparring with Shakur Stevenson? You know, a guy like that.
Yeah, it was good. Like I said, you know, Shakur's always been a great fighter. Obviously, I've always held my own in any sports. You know what I mean? That's why I'm world level. But you know, Shakur is an unbelievable fighter. What he's achieved through the amateurs as a professional. You know, he's a good guy. You know, I remember seeing him after his last fight against Cepeda. You know, I was there. You know, I had a catch up, I had a picture and stuff with him. So Shakur's a good guy, you know, and I'm favoring him in the Teo fight.
The focus turned to the rising star perspective from Emiliano Oliveira. He made his prediction for the upcoming fight and stated it decisively in favor of Shakur. dismissing any accusations of bias. He explained his choice by praising Stevenson's style, describing him as a fighter who systematically picks his opponents apart over 12 rounds. Lopez countered critics of Shakur's power, arguing that true boxing is about hitting and not getting hit, which Stevenson exemplifies perfectly. He predicted that Teofimo Lopez would not find a way around that defense, and suggested Shakur might even be more active and apply more pressure than people expect, rather than just moving backward.
Shakur Teofimo. What you thinking?
Got Shakur. Shakur, one of my favorite fighters. That's another fighter I watch.
Why you got Shakur?
No, I just I don't know. I love Shakur's style. How smart he is, and stuff that he just pick people apart and tear them down piece by piece the whole 12 rounds. A lot of people say he don't got no power or all this, but if you really know boxing, you really know what boxing about, and how it's about hitting and not get hit, and that's what he do. He hit, he don't get hit. And I don't feel like, I don't think Teofimo gonna find a way around defense. I feel like Shakur is gonna pick him apart, or he might try and make his statement again like he did with Peter.
Oh, so you think there's a possibility that he could stand in there and just fire back?
I don't think he'll just stand right here. He'll step back, but I think he'll be more active, like take some steps forward instead of people think he just running around, stepping back. I feel like he'll apply a little bit of more pressure.
Switching to Shakur Stevenson's own stance, he shut down any talk of moving up to welterweight. He stated plainly that moving to 147 pounds was completely off the table, as that opportunity had passed. Stevenson emphasized that he is a true lightweight and feels optimal at 135 pounds. While he expressed a willingness to meet at a catch weight of 140 pounds, he was absolute in his refusal to go higher. He pointed out that his potential opponent had already declared moving to 147 meant leaving the 140-pound division behind. Stevenson agreed with that assessment, concluding that if the other fighter wouldn't return to a lower weight, then the fight simply could not happen.
He's at 147, that's 2 weight classes above you. Do you ever feel like that's realistic now, or is that like that ship is sailed, like it's over?
Nah, that shit seems about over right now. If he at 47, I'm natural 35. Like, I'm comfortable at 35. If we was to fight, it could be at 40, but I mean, I will fight at 40, but I ain't fighting at no damn 47. So
yeah, because he said once I go to 47, it's over for 40. That's it. So it's over. That ship sailed.
Yeah, that shit, it must have sailed if he ain't come back down.
Following the discussion on weight, fellow boxer Bruce Carrington offered his breakdown of the potential matchup. He predicted it would be a compelling fight, challenging the idea that it would be dull by arguing that Teofimo Lopez would be aggressive and driven to claim the title of New York's top fighter. Carrington recognized Lopez's dangerous speed and power, yet he believed Stevenson's superior footwork and elusive style would be the ultimate challenge, likely getting under Lopez's skin. Carrington framed the entire fight around a single question: whether Teofimo Lopez could stay composed and find a way to cut off the ring against a master mover like Shakur Stevenson.
I think it's gonna be an interesting fight. Some fans think it's gonna be a boring fight and stuff like that. I don't think so. T.O. is gonna bring the fight. He's gonna especially want to show up for the crowd and make it exciting, for the New York crowd. You know what I mean? He calls himself the King of New York and stuff like that. So I feel like T.O. is gonna bring the fight. He's very athletic. He has a lot of explosiveness, and but I do feel like when it comes to Shakur, bro, his movement may frustrate him. The only thing that worries me when it comes to Teofimo is his frustration. Like, is he going to be able to work well with a mover?
Building on the theme of frustration, Teofimo Lopez revealed his strategy for victory. He rejected the idea of chasing a knockout, saying that would backfire. Instead, his strategy is to dominate the pace and feel of the fight right from the opening bell. Lopez doubted that Stevenson, in his first fight at 140 pounds, could handle that pressure for all 12 rounds. He dismissed questions about his own power, arguing that once opponents feel it, they become reluctant to engage. Lopez ended by confidently predicting a rude awakening for Stevenson, believing his smart pressure and heavy punches would be too much.
Well, I think that the whole thing with the Bible of boxing really is that if you look for the knockout, you won't get it. I think really it's just all about setting the good pace early in the beginning rounds and then going from there, setting that tone. I think that I don't see him going those 12 rounds. This is his first time moving up to 140. A lot of these guys could say a lot of things about me not knocking them out or whatnot, but they don't come and try to fight me after they feel this power. So it's for a reason. It carries. It does carry. I mean, I had a good showing with Arnold Barboza. He was #1, my mandatory, and he
he was too hesitant trying to commit to punches. So I think that it's just something that's going to be a rude awakening for Shakur.
Shifting to the high stakes involved, the analyst Blue Blood highlighted that Shakur Stevenson's win against Lopez would make him a 4-division champion and cement his status as a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. However, he immediately framed this as a pivotal moment that could also create a future problem, with Shakur Stevenson reportedly unwilling to risk a move to 147 for a Devin Haney fight and matchups against Gervonta Tank Davis seemingly unavailable. The analyst questioned who could realistically dethrone Lopez at 140. He concluded that Lopez's path to an undisputed #1 status would ultimately be blocked without securing at least one of those major legacy fights against Haney and Davis.
Should he be victorious, this will make him a 4-division champion. This cements him as top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. And if Shakur is not going to take the risk of fighting Devin Haney at 147, and Gervonta Tank Davis is not interested, and we already know his situation with Keyshawn Davis, who's the threat to dethrone him? Now, it's going to be hard for him to move up the ladder without one of those 3 fights, at least. At least, to cement himself as #1, he's going to need Keyshawn, Devin, or Tank Davis.
Looking at this matchup, boxer Keyshawn Davis offered his round-by-round prediction for the clash. He foresaw a tactical opening, with Stevenson's accuracy winning the first round before Lopez stormed back to take the second. Davis believed the key to the fight was Teofimo Lopez's physical strength and aggressive pressure, which he felt would take over as the rounds went on. He predicted Lopez would impose his will, build momentum, and become unstoppable. In the end, Davis gave the decisive edge to Lopez's relentless force, forecasting that he would survive Stevenson's early skill to overpower him in the later rounds.
I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
In contrast to the tactical breakdowns, promoter Eddie Hearn focused on mindset as the deciding factor. He framed the fight as a clash between 2 different professional paths, contrasting Teofimo Lopez's more turbulent, fame-filled journey with Shakur Stevenson's singular focus. Hearn highlighted that Stevenson maintains a calm, disciplined life, always training, and always in fight-ready condition, with his legacy as his only motivation. For Hearn, Stevenson doesn't win with one moment of brilliance, but with relentless, daily consistency. He argued that this unwavering professionalism would create an advantage too great for Lopez to overcome, making Stevenson's steady dedication the true key to victory.
The only thing you need is the consistency. And I think people don't realise how consistent Shakur Stevenson is. If you look at Teofimo Lopez, he's like this, right? I actually think now he seems to be in a solid place. But over the years, Teofimo's been like this. And coming off the back of the Teofimo Lopez fight, Loma fight, he lost the trajectory because life gets tough. When these kids start all of a sudden making a load of money, getting a load of criticism, finding fame, it's not easy to deal with. Fighters should look at Shakur. He's always in camp. He's never out of shape. You'll never see him out drunk. You'll never see him out doing stupid things. And because the money is secondary. Legacy is principle.
All the predictions, all the debate, it ends the moment that first bell rings at Madison Square Garden. Then, it's just Lopez's power against Stevenson's precision. Years of work, one night to prove it. Who survives? Who makes history? The answer comes January 31st. So tell us right now, who are you picking? Drop your winner in the comments. Smash like if you can't wait, and subscribe now for full Fight Week coverage and our live broadcast. Don't blink. This one defines a legacy.